I'm Grim, and this is your Grim Dispatch. The escalator froze. The teleprompter died. Not a malfunction, a message. The UN tried to humiliate Trump before he spoke, but humiliation became ignition. Trump stepped into the silence and delivered a speech that wasn't polished, it was primal, a reckoning. He said, "What is the purpose of the United Nations? The UN has such tremendous potential. All they seem to do is write a really strong worded letter and then never follow that letter up. It's empty words, and empty words don't solve war." Trump mocked the UN's addiction to symbolism. He didn't just question its relevance, he indicted its cowardice. Trump's central theme was sovereignty. He framed globalism as a virus, one that erodes borders, identity, and civic order. He said America is blessed with the strongest economy, the strongest borders, the strongest military, the strongest friendships, and the strongest spirit of any nation on the face of the earth. He called on nations to reject failed approaches of the past and confront threats like terrorism, mass migration, and biological warfare. The message: strength is moral, weakness is betrayal. Trump praised his immigration crackdown. He said, 4 months in a row, the number of illegal aliens admitted and entering our country has been zero. If you come illegally into the United States, you're going to jail or you're going back where you came from. He warned Europe that open borders were suicidal, accusing leaders of sacrificing heritage for applause. He said, "You're doing it because you want to be nice, you want to be politically correct, and you're destroying your heritage." Trump escalated his indictment. He said the United Nations is funding an assault on Western countries and their borders. The UN is supposed to stop invasions, not create them and not finance them. This wasn't just criticism, it was accusation. Trump portrayed the UN as an active participant in the erosion of sovereignty, not a passive observer. Trump didn't just warn about open borders, he named names. He turned his fire on the UK. He said, "I look at London, where you have a terrible mayor, terrible, terrible mayor, and it's been changed. It's been so changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law. But you are in a different country. You can't do that." He framed mass migration as a civilizational threat and accused European leaders of surrendering to ideological conquest. He said Europe is being invaded by a force of illegal aliens like nobody's ever seen before. Immigration and their suicidal energy ideas will be the death of Western Europe if something's not done immediately. Trump didn't hedge, he detonated. He called climate change the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world and said climate policies were suicidal. He framed environmentalism as a tool of control used by elites to justify economic submission. This isn't science denial, it was sovereignty defense. Trump linked climate and trade. He said, "The challenge with trade is much the same as with climate. The countries that followed the rules, all the factories have been plundered by countries that broke the rules." He portrayed global trade as a moral sabotage, rewarding cheaters and punishing builders. The message: rule following is not virtue when the rules are rigged. Trump didn't just criticize the UN, he accused it of complicity. He said the United Nations has done nothing to end wars. Nothing. He claimed, "In a period of just 7 months, I have ended 7 unendable wars. No president or prime minister, and for that matter, no other country has ever done anything close to that. Everyone says that I should get a Nobel Peace Prize. But for me, the real prize will be the sons and daughters who live to grow up with their mothers and fathers." It wasn't a plea for recognition, it was a rebuke, a reminder that peace isn't paperwork, it's protection. Trump condemned the unilateral recognition of Palestine. He said, "Now, as if to encourage continued conflict, some of this body is seeking to unilaterally recognize a Palestinian state. Instead of giving in to Hamas ransom demands, those who want peace should be united with one message: release the hostages now." He framed recognition as reward for terror. The room was tense. The message was clear: peace without justice is surrender. Trump turned to Ukraine. And he said, the United Nations has failed to stop the war in Ukraine. It has failed to punish the aggressor, and it has failed to protect the innocent. He claimed that under his leadership, Russia didn't dare invade and blamed weakness, not diplomacy, for the bloodshed. He said China and India are the primary funders of the ongoing war by continuing to purchase Russian oil. But inexcusably, even NATO countries have not cut off much Russian energy. Then came the reversal. He said, I think Ukraine, with the support of the European Union, is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back in its original form. With time, patience, and the financial support of Europe, and in particular NATO, the original borders from where this war started is very much an option. And the mockery? He said, Russia has been fighting aimlessly for 3.5 years, a war that should have taken a real military power less than a week to win. This is not distinguishing Russia. In fact, it's very much making them look like a paper tiger. Trump defended religious freedom. He said, together, let us defend free speech and free expression. Let us protect religious liberty, including for the most persecuted religion on the planet today. It's called Christianity. He framed Christianity as under siege and the UN as silent. It was a call to moral clarity, not just legal protection. Trump warned by saying, my position is very simple. The world's #1 sponsor of terror can never be allowed to possess the most dangerous weapon. Now, he didn't name Iran, but the implication was clear. This was a red line drawn in front of a body that has failed to enforce any. Trump recalled being jerked to a stop on a stalled escalator and losing a bid to renovate the UN complex to a far inferior offer. It wasn't just a personal gripe, it was a metaphor. The UN doesn't reward merit, it rewards insiders. They tried to humiliate him. They tried to cut the escalator. They killed the teleprompter. But Trump didn't descend, he detonated. This has been your Grim Dispatch. Like if you're watching, share if you're ready, comment if you believe the truth matters. Thank you.